Hey guys, I'm back again with another video. I just want to tell you guys happy holidays, first and foremost. If you do celebrate the holidays, if you do not, hey, still happy holidays to you. Hope your week has been well. Mine has been going pretty good. Uh, I don't know where to start, man. Like, I guess there's been a little bit of news. Basically, most of our guys have come out of protocols. Hooray! Obviously, they canceled the game against Toronto. But Billy Donovan today has come down with COVID. Um, wow. Everybody come back, coach going in. And the only person who's been here through it all and has played every fucking game is Lonzo Ball. Ain't that funny? Normally, we expect Lonzo to be out with some kind of nagging injury here or there. None of that. Homie's just sitting up there like Iron Man. So them big baller white blood cells in him got hey LeVar, I need some of the big baller blood cells, bruh. ASAP. Cause Lonzo said, nah, he ain't falling to the rotor. So outside of that, man, look, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Like one day there could be a game, the next it's not there. It's just a matter of seeing what's up. This new Omicron variant or whatever the fuck it's called is extremely contagious. And Adam Silver even came out and said personally that 90% of the cases are because of the Omicron variant. So that means most of the people are getting this lesser version of Corona. Now, I'm not gonna get into the medical synopsis of this. That's not what this channel is for. But if you're gonna go to a game, be safe out there. Just be safe. Hell, I went to a party last weekend, and a bunch of people are coming down with the Rona. So I gotta go get tested soon myself just to make sure. But be careful out there, people. You never know who has it, and most of the people, especially with this new version, is asymptomatic. So definitely be on your p's and q's, and just be safe, man. We don't want to lose anybody, especially to this deadly disease. So definitely be as safe as possible. Okay. Now that I got all this, I guess, housekeeping shit out the way, um, let me mute my PlayStation because I was playing online before I started doing this. I was supposed to give you guys the video on my next 10 games. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to y'all in this video. It's just not gonna be like it normally is because we don't know who's gonna be available from day to day. Like literally, so many people are coming down with the Rona. We don't know from day to day who's gonna be here. Like Harden just became available to play tomorrow against the Lakers. He was out with it. Some days a player is on and then he's off. It's insane how this is going. And I know they were talking about maybe possibly swapping a team or two, depending on what's going on to get teams able to play on Christmas. I hadn't seen anything yet. I hadn't heard anything yet. As I look at my PlayStation screen, it's 5/19. Okay. To me, it's kind of late if they're gonna announce a swap. That should have been done already. Um, but I digress. So as far as the next 10 teams, let me not say top 10 teams. A lot of it's doubles. We get the Pacers twice, the Wizards twice, and Atlanta twice. And then we also get the Mavs, Golden State, Brooklyn, and Dallas. Now, I'm going to apologize for saying that Brooklyn, we were done playing them. I heard it being said in the telecast of one of the games against Brooklyn, and they said this was the last time we were playing them. I guess they misspoke and meant this year, but I probably should have checked it before I said it. I apologize. That's on me. Um, as far as everything else is concerned, we haven't played Washington or Atlanta yet, so this is going to be interesting. This is going to be new territory. We've not played a game with them. Pacers we've already played. We're going to get them this time, I believe. Brooklyn, I'm not sure if this is going to be another where they are off of back to back. The first two are off back to backs. I think Brooklyn is going to be a little bit more on point with us, regardless, because I think they realize, like, look, we can't just lose to this team every time. Golden State is going to be Golden State. Now, this for sure will be the last matchup because you only play the teams in the West twice a year. Okay, so if we don't beat them, we just don't beat them this year. Um, Dallas, we already beat them. Luka just went in the protocols. Luka may not be available for that game, so we have to keep our eyes open as far as that's concerned. Um, Outside of that, I think Orlando was one of the other teams. I'm not too worried about Orlando. That's pretty much the next 10 games. I'm like I said, I'm not going to get into what I think will happen because we don't even know who's going to be available. You know, we might fuck around and end up with the Chicago Bulls having another breakout of Corona, and then you don't know. Like it's just really this shit is so volatile right now. We can't accurately say what is what. Um, However, if the teams were fully healthy, I would say we probably go 6-4 through this stretch. Um, that's just my thinking. I would think we would go 6-4 through this stretch. Uh, I would say we would lose Brooklyn, we would lose Golden State, we would lose to Washington, and we would lose one of the games to Washington, and we would lose one of the games to Atlanta. That would be pretty much my thought process. If they were both fully healthy, that's what I think would happen. If all the teams were fully healthy. Um, Outside of that, man, it's been crazy. You know, it has been crazy right now. Like one day, and let me be real with y'all. I've probably done 10 videos that I've had to like can because something happened and it invalidated my entire video. Like Corona outbreak 14, something happened here or there. A team takes has to postpone a game. It's so much has happened. It's like ridiculous. We haven't even played our 30th game yet. Like that's where we're at. We haven't played our 30th game. Crazy, I know. But it's this year is something serious, man. I don't know why they just didn't sit back and take like a week off, kind of get this thing under control. Cause see, today is the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. If they had taken a week off like a week ago, most of the cases would either have popped up and gone, or you would have at least got it to where okay, nobody's gonna play that has it, and then you can start everybody back off on a clean slate. Obviously, there are gonna be some players that will still be out because of COVID, but they wouldn't be on the court passing it on, or they wouldn't be affected. So when they came back, they'd be able to just go out there and play, and you wouldn't have any issues. But I know they're going to change policies and certain things. I know they were even looking at saying, hey, if they asymptomatic, let them play. Which I don't know how to feel about that. On one hand, you don't want to just spread this shit around because people have families. And while the player may be vaccinated, the family may not be. And so the player has COVID and is asymptomatic, but he has the vaccine, and the family don't. It could happen. So you take that home. Now your kids and your wife is sick. One of them. To me, it's just. It's a fine line to walk. I get why the league is doing it, but at the same time, it's just kind of like it's weird to me. Um, Y'all seen that haircut by Zach LaVine? Atrocious. I see what he was trying to go with it, but that shit is whack. If you have not seen it, get on Twitter and go scroll down to the Chicago Bulls page. There's pictures of Zach LaVine's haircut. That shit looks terrible. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say, man. They gave that man a chili bowl. Gave that man a chili bowl. And I'm gonna tell you what, it looked like they was trying to give him a ball fade or a halfway ball fade. And I don't know, man. Zach LaVine, you need to come to Texas. We got some barbers out here that'll get you right. You know what I'm saying? I got my beard cut last week. It still look pretty good, as you see. You know what I'm saying? I ain't put too much of anything in it, so this is just natural. You know what I'm saying? Come out here, Zach LaVine. I know some ninjas out here that'll get you right. Don't be walking out here looking like that, bro. Like, you're the franchise player, bro. You can't be walking out here with a fucked up haircut. Nah, nah. But he's out of protocol. Obviously, Billy Donovan going back in. We've signed Ersan Ilyasova and Mac McClung. Mac McClung, I remember the highlight videos of him a couple years ago because he was like just dunking all over the place. He's a white dude, like short white dude. But he was just a madman dunking. And I know he got drafted this year, and he's just kind of been here and there and around. I don't really care for the signing, quite frankly. Ersan Ilyasova, though, last year he played for the Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. He's 6'11". No, yeah, 6'11", and he can shoot. Yes. Yes. Go ahead, remove Alize Johnson from the roster. Matt Thomas, we don't need him. Keep Alfonso McKinney. Keep Ersan Ilyasova. You might be like, well, you haven't seen him play. True. He probably won't get to play now that we got everybody back. However, I would much rather the 6'11" guy who can shoot, because we need shooting off the bench, and you're telling him to sit in the corner and space the floor so that DeMar DeRozan has more space to work with when he comes in with the second unit. I would much rather you do that and maybe have him play small ball 5 and space the floor and knock down shots than just having Alize eat up minutes for no fucking reason. Okay. Outside of that, so here's the thing, and I've been putting a lot of thought into this. I truly don't think that they're going to make a move on Vooch yet. I think they gave away too much for them to let him go casually, or just trade him. So I think they're going to ride it out for the year. Okay. And I don't think they're going to trade DeMar DeRozan either way. If that's the case, you're saying the starting 5 is essentially going to be set or be the same. Here's what I would do. I would go get at Atlanta to get that Cam Reddish. I would get Cam Reddish. I would talk to New Orleans and I would see what it would take to get Jackson Hayes, because even the bloggers over there having, they're kind of sick of him. And I don't think Jackson Hayes is bad. I don't think he's unmotivated. I think once you get fed up with a situation and location, you just kind of don't put that effort into it. And I think that's where he is with them. I also think Billy Donovan is the kind of coach that would reach out and be able to get to Jackson Hayes and be like, all right, cool, this is what we need you to do to win. Set these picks, blah, blah, blah. And I think they would also put him in a situation that would be most effective for his skill set, which I think on this team, his natural skill set is what we need. So we would be looking at, and this is, by the way, go ahead and remove Troy Brown, Matt Thomas, Alize Johnson, get rid of all those bums. Fuck, who else we got? You know what? Nobody else fucking matters, okay? You keep Caruso, Ayo. Matter of fact, get rid of Kobe White. Send Kobe to New Orleans. We don't need him. All right? So your backcourt situation is going to be, obviously, Zozak, and then you got Caruso, Ayo off the bench. Cool. We don't need any more guards. We do not need any more guards. We're set. We got plenty of ball handlers. We're set at guard. We don't need any more guards. Put that to the side, okay? You got DeMar DeRozan, and people were like, okay, well, what about Javonte Green? I'd say let Javonte Green walk if need be. Here's the thing: DeMar DeRozan and I think Derrick Jones Jr. comes in for him. At the power forward spot, I would have Cam Reddish and Alfonzo McKinney. Now, when Pat Will gets back, we'll figure that out. We'll make that work. And then at the center, you got Vooch and Jackson Hayes. Bye bye, Tony Bradley. We don't need you no more. With that, I think we got more of a balance. Okay? And I think it allows us to be more versatile. And I think it gets the most out of everybody that we have going forward. We get bench scoring. We get defense off the bench and rebounding. We get more versatility. And we get bigger. Okay? I think if you're going to if you're not going to go for Miles Turner or any of the other, Jeremy Grant, Christian Wood, and you're just going to ride out with Vooch, this is the way to do it. And then you still get to keep everybody. And then if you need to, you can make trades during the offseason to facilitate and get the things that you want. If what Acme said is true, that means that there are people looking to come to Chicago anyway. I think that works and benefits everybody involved. At least in my eyes. Now, I don't know. I take that back. There was a report that dropped today that said Joe Ingles may be available. I don't know how people feel about Joe Ingles. I know he can shoot his ass off. I know he can pass a little bit too. I'm not sure on the defensive end. So I'm iffy. I don't want to speak or misspeak on him, so I'm going to kind of keep my mouth zipped. But if you like Joe Ingles, maybe you go that route and say, okay, let's try to get Joe Ingles. I'm not sure of all the other players that are available on some of these teams, but there's some phone calls you probably should be making. Jonathan Isaac would be one of them in Orlando because he hadn't played yet this year. Rui Hachimura. Here's the other thing, too. If you set the squad up this way, during the offseason, if you need to take a big swing for like someone like Karl-Anthony Towns, or maybe if you think Anthony Davis is your thing, maybe you offer Pat Will and Vooch. And if you got Alfonzo McKinney and Cam, you can then say, okay, we can afford to move off of Pat Will and go from there. That's if that's the decision that they want to go to. Basically you get flexibility and you get a solid enough team that you can compete with pretty much anybody in the league. The Bulls, last I checked, were second, and I think they're like a half game behind Brooklyn. And we're missing games because all these other games are not being canceled. So we're still, because of win percentage, we're still in a good spot. But I think it's evident right now that this team is going to be top 3. The Bucks have slipped a little bit because they lost Giannis and I think Chris Middleton to COVID protocols. I'm not complaining because when we were missing motherfuckers, we had to play through that shit. And there were some losses we took. I ain't tripping. Let the motherfuckers play and lose games, just like we had to. But we're gonna be in that area, okay? We're gonna have to start looking at matchups because it's looking like it may be Cleveland, Miami, or Washington. And I promise you, it's not gonna be easy regardless. It's not gonna be easy. And if you go ahead and fill out the roster now, I think it puts you in a better position to get these guys acclimated. You start making final trades, in like February? You got all of March and then maybe a couple games in April to try to get guys going and to figure out your rotation and stuff and start prepping for the postseason, especially injuries and other stuff that are going to pop up. Now, with the injury tip, because guys have been, for the most part, only going out for COVID, which has kind of led to a mid-season break for a lot of dudes, I don't think we'll see as many injuries due to that. I don't expect a lot of guys' bodies to start breaking down now because you're 30 plus games or so into the league and all of a sudden, hold on. And all of a sudden, I was getting a phone call, my bad. and then all of a sudden, people are going to start breaking down. No, I don't think that's going to happen now because people are getting a break in between, and then you're still going to get the All Star break too. I think that's going to lend itself to helping the league have healthier bodies going into the postseason. Um, I'm interested to see when they start rescheduling these games. I think that'll be a telltale sign of things. But I have my thoughts. I was thinking they may play a game or so, put a game or so in, tonight. That's not gonna happen. I was thinking maybe they would put a game or so in during like that break of All Star break because there's usually like 4 or 5 days, 6 days where there's not basketball games. Maybe you could scoot some of those games in there and say, okay, some of these teams are gonna just have to play during this time. I know obviously at the end of the year, the end of the regular season, they could do some games, but that's about it as far as when I think they could actually insert some games, to make up some of these games that are being postponed because it's a lot of them now. At first, it was just a few. We're looking at like 10 to 15 games, maybe 20 games, okay? And for some teams, multiple games, which you got to be careful about that going into the postseason and for seeding because a team missing 2 or 3 games got to play a couple late games in a year. Um, Schedule ends up being back heavy. I'm just saying. But overall, that's just my viewpoint right now. And I know it's kind of like a bunch of different topics put into one here, but I kind of wanted to make up for everything that I didn't do this week and stuff because news has been coming out like nonstop. This shit is insane. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays and your break. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.